Hello Logic Language Learners, and welcome to a new video in the A-level series on essays. Same as usual, if this is a new video for you, if it's a new channel for you, can I please ask you to subscribe if you enjoy the video, or decide at the end, can you like the video if it's useful for you, and can you please tell everybody you know about the video who is learning French, all those who aren't learning French. So, today's title is about marriage, so anything social, you know, state of the nation, society, you know, this kind of thing. This is a common A-level theme. Oh, we have an alarm, which was to remind me to make this video for somebody. So we're ahead of schedule. Okay, so. Question. As per normal, everything will be written underneath as per normal in the description. Can I remind you, those of you who are doing it on an iPad and iPhone, that sometimes the description box is hard to find. There is a small triangle underneath the screen. So if you try and find that and go down, you will find it. Okay? So, question. À votre avis, pourquoi est-ce que le mariage est moins populaire de nos jours? Est-ce que le mariage est toujours important dans la société actuelle? Pourquoi pas? So we'll go again. À votre avis, pourquoi est-ce que le mariage est moins populaire de nos jours? Est-ce que le mariage est toujours important dans la société actuelle? Pourquoi pas? Okay, anything on the pronunciation I always like to check up for you guys. So in your opinion, and that's really important from the beginning, that when you're answering this, make sure it's obvious it's your opinion, because like I said, you can answer essays with it is or I think. So it's nice to throw in a few phrases saying, you know, I think, I believe, it bothers me, it concerns me, it excites me. You know, try and link it to you. So in your opinion, why is it that marriage is less popular now? De nos jours, nowadays. Yeah, de nos jours. So you've aujourd'hui really means today. So figuratively, if you're saying today, people get married a lot less today. Or nowadays. The today really would be today. So words for today, as in figuratively, as in at the moment, in French would be de nos jours, the one you've just seen, okay? And also actuellement, currently, which I believe we have there as an adjective, so actuelle, so the current society nowadays, la société actuelle. Be very careful with actuelle, we obviously have a feminine and a masculine form, so yeah. Is it that marriage is still important? So toujours, be careful, can be still or always, so is marriage still important in current society, in modern society? Okay, pourquoi pas? Okay, so the first thing I would say is strip the title of anything you can use vocabulary wise. So we've got in your opinion, à votre avis, that would teach us that we could change that and we could make it in my opinion, à mon avis, à ton avis, à son avis in his opinion, but for an essay, in my opinion, à mon avis. Lovely. Le mariage, if you're going to write a whole essay about marriage, make sure you've got the gender right, okay? Le mariage. There's a quick clue on âge words in French, which is most of the... there's a poem that we have in France, which is like, il y avait un lion sur la page, avec sa rage, qui est sorti de sa cage, qui s'est promené à la plage, whatever. So it's like all these little individual words, page, cage, rage, plage, these are feminine, and anything else in French which is âge which is often attached a noun of a verb, so to marry, marriage, yeah, laver, wash, lavage, rincer, rinçage, when you rinse your hair, masser, to massage, massage, so any âge other than those few will always be masculine, okay? So, le mariage. One R as well, so be careful, you can use the title to check. Est-ce que le mariage est moins populaire de nos jours? Est-ce que le mariage est toujours important dans la société actuelle? Okay, pourquoi pas? So on structure, what do I say? What are we looking at? Are we saying for and against marriage? Because this is a subtle one, okay? So it's saying, in your opinion, why is marriage less popular nowadays? Okay? So that could be one strain, so a list of reasons why marriage doesn't happen as often. Then is marriage as important in society? So it's not just for marriage and against marriage, because it's kind of three, isn't it? It's kind of saying why marriage is less popular and why you think marriage is important, okay, or why it isn't important. So it's kind of a three, but it's also kind of a two columns, because the reasons you're going to give why marriage is less important pretty much are going to be why there's less marriage, why there's fewer marriages nowadays. So this is kind of up to you how you structure this, okay? So basically, if you just went through the points and you just be very mindful of which bit you're answering, but you have to answer the question. You have to be saying why, you know. So a good way to make sure the examiner knows that you're answering the question. So what do we do? First things first, we have an introduction, and then we can have an introduction for subheadings. So either we are going to say this point, then the opposite point, okay? But in this one, I just think it's a little bit weird to tie the for and against with individual things. So if you sort of said, oh, marriage is is really expensive nowadays, the for and against are going to be different. It's not like the money is then also going to help. You know, when we're talking about mobile phones, if we say things like, oh, the mobile phones, that's French. Mobile phones are, you know, whatever. Kids just play games, so they don't do any homework. But at the same time, mobile phones help kids learn because of applications or whatever. So it's kind of on the same topic. Whereas with this one, it's kind of like reasons for, reasons against. They're not always totally correlating, so this might make it easier. So what do you do with this kind of thing? You have your basic introduction, which is, like I said, going to say the general, just regurgitate what you're saying. It's true, marriage is less popular for several reasons. There are, however, many reasons for and against marriage in current society. You don't have to say what you're going to say, you don't have to give an overview of what points, just give a basic idea to the reader, which is the examiner. Who is the examiner? This is where this essay is going to go. Come with me, I'm going to show you this, then I'm going to show you this, and it just makes it more, you know, coherent and legible and readable and just generally, you know, easier, more fun to mark, and people are listening to you better, okay? So, we'll talk about that in a minute then. So what I'm saying is then have an introduction to the section. So if your section is then going to talk about why marriage is important nowadays, okay? So why marriage is less popular, then start with it's true that there are fewer marriages nowadays than before for several reasons. Colon, yeah? Colon, or full stop, whatever, then do it. Then do it, however, you know, so whatever. Rather than doing the backwards and forwards of other essays, we could possibly do it that way. Anyway, I'll leave it with you. Like I said, anybody wants to send it me, I will mark it, LogicLanguageLearning@gmail.com. So we're just really trying to get a bit stronger on structure. That out the way, let's now look at the French vocab. This is the point where those of you who aren't doing A-levels, I always tell them to zoom in and ignore the first 10 minutes. So, right, let's go through what the exam board recommend, and I'm not saying this has to be it, it's just sample ideas of what you could use. So, the expenses, so les frais, the word for an expense is les frais, F-R-A-I-S. Go around it, the cost, le coût, with an accent on the U, le prix, the price, it's very expensive, c'est très cher. Good, so a sentence on that. C'est vrai que le mariage coûte cher. Marriage costs a lot. Si quelqu'un décide de se marier, the verb to get married is se marier, reflexive, okay? They got married, ils se sont mariés. Okay, it's a reflexive verb. So if you were writing an essay and you wanted to show off, you can say, when, for example, my parents got married, you're deliberately doing that to show off that you can do a reflexive verb in the past. So, like wash. Yeah, je me lave, je me suis lavé, ils se lavent, ils se sont lavés. Quand mes parents se sont mariés. Yeah, good. So, and remember there would be an S on that marié because they got married, so it would need to agree with the être, i.e. because they're plural. So, d'expensive. C'est vrai que c'est très cher de nos jours de se marier. Okay? There are lots of couples who don't have this money. Il y a beaucoup de couples qui n'ont pas cet argent or qui who haven't got. Yeah. What could we do? Who would find it difficult to pay? Use a compound. Qui aurait, would have. Ooh, you've shown off your would. Aurait, A-U-R-A-I-N-T, du mal à régler, settle ou payer le coût du mariage. Okay? Lovely. No shame involved as in the past. Oh, I see. As in years ago it was looked on poorly or badly if you weren't married and lived together. Okay? Word for shame, la honte. La honte. Interesting word because it starts with an H, but you do not have L apostrophe. You don't say l'honte, you say la honte. If something happens where you go, oh my god, he's so shameful, what is he doing? Oh my gosh. In French, you say this word, la honte. Similar to another word, la haine, which is hatred, which is a film. Yeah, a film, a very good, cool film. With Vincent Cassel, the guy who shaves his head. So la haine, la honte, the way you pronounce these. So there's no shame involved in the past. So what words can you say? So before, avant. What are we going to say? Marriage used to be. So remember, for all of these essays, used to be is the same as the was, the were, the imperfect. So one time, une fois, le mariage était nécessaire. Parce que c'était honteux, it was shameful. Use our family technique, okay? You don't know shameful, there was a certain shame, il y avait une certaine honte. It was a question of shame, c'était une question de la honte. C'était honteux pour les couples d'habiter ou d'être en cohabitation ou de vivre ensemble s'ils n'étaient pas mariés. If they weren't married, what could you do without having gotten married, sans s'être marié? Ooh, without having had a marriage, sans avoir eu un mariage, without having had, okay? Before marrying, avant de se marier. You're comfortable with before going, avant d'aller, before getting married, avant de se marier. It was out of question, c'était hors de question, H-O-R-S, okay? People are having children later nowadays. So, de nos jours, les gens décident d'avoir les enfants plus tard dans la vie, or less. So later is when they are older, quand ils sont plus âgés. You start thinking. So people are having children later. How else would we say this? People are concentrating on their careers first. Yeah, les gens se concentrent. So to concentrate in French is reflexive like marriage. You have to concentrate yourself on, se concentre sur leur carrière. You don't know careers, their jobs, their work, leur travail, leur métier, their careers. Profession is not profession. That is like religious faith kind of thing, okay? Good. People, so, you know, whatever your level of French, you know, you can find a way of saying your point. So people are having children later. People want to wait. Les gens veulent attendre to wait. Okay, lovely. What have you going around? Marriage is seen as a necessary bureaucratically. Okay. De nos jours, ou dans la société moderne, ou dans une société moderne, dans une société actuelle, ce n'est pas nécessaire. Il n'est pas nécessaire de se marier. Now. Bureaucratic, there is in brackets, entre parenthèses. So we can say on an administrative level. On an administrative level. Ooh, is bringing up some of our level words, our introduction to theme, political, cultural, social, administrative, any of these adverbs, adjectives. Okay? So what were the classic 4-5 that we use? Au niveau plus adjective, d'un point de vue plus adjective, adverb, en termes de plus noun. So let's go through them then. So, au niveau administratif, masculine for niveau, administratif. Remember we have the French feminine in English, the VE. Yeah, VE words, passive, yeah, active are feminine. The masculine is with an F. So au niveau administratif, au niveau bureaucratique, administratif is better French. D'un point de vue administratif, en termes de l'administration,